131. Trez Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, back to retired numbers. And most times, I know, a jersey number being retired is a great thing. Always is. And there are the instances where it's more of in memory instead of a great career. I've already made a video on that kind of thing. You can check that out here. Today's another one of those installments. Today we're talking, if you read the title, about Bill Masterton. Let's talk about it. Before I start, and I will mention this again at the end. Yes, the number was retired in Minnesota. It is still retired in Dallas. Clear case of this is when Brad Richards got traded to Dallas. He had to wear 91 because he couldn't wear 19. Because Dallas still recognizes it. God, remember, they were North Stars before they were Stars. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, Masterson's career with the North Stars / Stars began with the 67 expansion draft. Now, before that, he was the property of the Montreal Canadiens. And in the nicest way to say things, they're extremely deep at center. All four lines. So obviously Masterton, who really had more of a career in NCAA and college hockey, was doing really good. Kind of got lost in the shuffle in Montreal. It wasn't until Masterton had been signed by Ren Blair, who was the North Stars coach / general manager at the time. And while he was at the U.S. Nationals, had his contract purchased from Montreal and became the first signed player to the North Stars organization. It's pretty sweet digs. Go from being lost in the shuffle to the first property of the North Stars. But not content with that. In the first game for the North Stars, which was October 11th, 1967, before you, maybe you, definitely before me, before I was even a thought, against St. Louis Blues, who were also an expansion team, Masterton scored the first goal in North Stars history. The more you know. Remember, knowing's half the battle. Through his first 38 games, Masterton had 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 points. So not bad numbers at the 38 game mark, right? This is the part where the story takes a bad turn. So, it was during a game against the Oakland Seals, who we'll make a video on when we get to that point. On January 13th, 1968, Masterton was carrying the puck up the ice at a fast speed, like you do when you're on skates. He was completing his pass, and a pair of Seals defensemen came in to finish the check, and they ran into him pretty hard. Now, according to a lot of experts and a lot of people who were there, it wasn't a dirty play. Even by today's standards, it wouldn't be a dirty play. But at the time, helmets weren't a mandate. Gotta remember that. We'll probably talk about that later. So anyway, Masterton fell backwards. And as a result, managed to hit the back of his head on the ice. Hard. Like, to the point where it was coming out the ears and the nose and his mouth. The impact from the hit, though, had him unconscious before he even hit the ice. According to some accounts, though, he managed to briefly regain consciousness. Briefly. So naturally, of course, he's rushed to the hospital, where he was attended to by 5 doctors. 2 of them were neurosurgeons. And according to these doctors, the injury was too severe for surgery to be a viable option. Some 30 hours after the hit, Masterton passed from his injuries, becoming the first and only player to pass sustaining an injury as a result of the game. This, of course, changed a lot of things. By 1979, it was mandatory. All players wear helmets in the NHL. The last player to not wear a helmet was Craig McTavish, and he played into the 90s. But I imagine he had to sign some kind of waiver saying the league's not liable if he manages to hurt his head. Immediately after his passing, though, this is the classy part, the NHL brought in the Bill Masterton Trophy. Now, we'll talk about that trophy at some point, but mostly it's about perseverance and dedication to the game. On January 17th, 1987, some 4 years, 4 days after the 19th anniversary, of his passing, the Minnesota North Stars finally retired the number. It was the first number retired in franchise history. And of course, when they relocated to Dallas, they took that with them. Like I said at the beginning, it is recognized by the Stars. So we definitely do still count that as part of their retired number history. So that was 131. I'm Trez Hockey Show. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it here. I'm not going to lie, this one took a lot of takes to make, mostly because I was fumbling the lines, but you do sometimes. But if you liked it, feel free to give me that thumbs up. If you want to, you know what that red button does. You know what I want. Let's make that happen. Hopefully before the end of the year. That's my official goal, to reach 100. Socials, they're in the description down below. Moving forward, for the next retired number, I don't know, it's either finish a team or start a team to finish it really quick, or continue on another team. Those are my only clues I'm giving you. But either way, in the meantime, in between time, be able to go from reviews from Trev. Later.